Hello, I'm John LaRosa, President of Market Data Enterprises, a Tampa, Florida-based market research and consulting firm. We publish a variety of market studies and industry studies covering a whole variety of service sectors. Welcome to Market Data's Self-Improvement Market Teleseminar. I hope you get a lot of value out of this teleseminar. It's one of many I'll be doing on a variety of self-improvement market topics. As always, you can email me or call us at our offices Monday through Friday if you have any questions about the material in this teleseminar. This is another example of a little researched market, a niche market that no one covers, the self-improvement market. Market Data is the only one that publishes a business analysis of this huge $10 billion market, which consists of things like motivational speakers, personal coaching, infomercials, public seminars, a variety of services and workshops and podcasts and information that's increasingly being delivered through the internet to help people's lives and enhance them spiritually, physically, and financially. So it's a huge industry, but very fragmented with lots of small privately owned companies. So why is Market Data the expert on the self-improvement market? First, we were the first ones to quantify the size and makeup of the industry or the market in 1994. We've been covering it for 20 years. Also, there's no trade association representing the market. There are some trade associations representing different segments of the market, like the Audio Publishers Association for audiobooks, or the Infomercial Marketers Association for infomercial producers, the Book Industry Study Group, and the various Publishing Association for self-improvement books, the National Speakers Bureau that represents the 5,000 or so motivational speakers in this country, and so forth. But no overarching national trade association representing the whole self-improvement market. In addition, there's no trade journal and no magazine representing the industry. So our analysis is pretty much it in terms of unbiased, objective information about this market. And we're very good at obtaining information on small, privately owned companies. I can confidently say that our company is the one market research company in the world that knows more about the self-improvement market than anyone else. We hope you enjoy the seminar and get a lot of good information about it. Also consider our studies, which are much more in-depth once you've seen this seminar. Thank you. Today, we're going to give you an overview and status report of the U.S. self-improvement market, looking at its size and market segments and emerging trends and forecasts. So let's get right into it. Here is the self-improvement market at a glance. In 2012, those are the latest figures we have from our latest report, which we update every 2 years. It's comprised of the following: infomercials, revenues of the top motivational speakers, personal coaching services, holistic institutes and training organizations. We'll get into the definitions of some of these a little later. Self-improvement books, self-improvement audiobooks, public seminars, and then weight loss programs and stress management programs. In 2012, we estimated it was a $9.5 billion market in America, and that was down slightly from 2009 because of the last recession. A lot of these services and products people can do without. They're really luxury expenditures, and a lot of them were postponed during the recession when people had less money and had to worry more about paying their mortgage, paying the rent, paying utilities, paying for putting food on the table instead of things like personal coaching. So our forecast for the next 4 years, well, actually 2 years by now, to 2016, you see that infomercials are expected to grow 10% per year in terms of revenues. Motivational speakers, 6.8, personal coaching, 4.5%. Holistic institutes, there's about 16 of those in the country where they offer specialized workshops and retreats like the Omega Institute and Esalen and a bunch of others. And training organizations like Dale Carnegie and Toastmasters, 4.2% annual growth. Books, 4.8%. Audiobooks, still a pretty good growth market there, 6%. Public seminars, 6%. Weight loss programs, all types, medical, commercial, retail, excluding surgeries, 6.2%. Well, so far in 2014 and 2013, we're not anywhere near that. The market's basically flat. So don't know if we'll come in at that 6.2% rate over the next 2 years or so. It seems like the way it's looking, we won't hit that. Stress management programs, basically flat. So the total market, we expect to grow about 5.5% per year. The nature of the market, self-improvement products and services are basically things that are designed to improve you mentally, spiritually, physically, or financially. And most of the customers, 70%, are female, affluent females, usually with a household income over $50,000, living on the east or the west coast of the US. That's the bread and butter main part of the market. It's a fragmented market, a lot of different market segments, and it's comprised basically of small, privately owned firms where there's very low barriers to entry. There's a lot of entrepreneurs and startups. Very easy to get into this business, and I'll show you different ways that you can. There's no trade association and no magazine or trade journal or national conference or exposition for the industry. That's one of the voids in the market, and that's why there isn't that much data or solid information about the market other than our study. It's largely driven by gurus like Tony Robbins and Deepak Chopra and Wayne Dyer and many others. What hasn't changed in the last 20 years since 1994 when we first started looking at it? Well, there's still no trade association, still no trade journal. There's a lot of scams, and a lot of these people in the industry operate on the fringes, especially ones that operate on the internet. You have to watch out for. And a lot of the content and the services that are being delivered to consumers, a lot of that has moved online in the form of webcasts and podcasts and webinars and teleseminars and online universities or courses. That's one of the big trends lately. 70% of the market is female, as we mentioned, and there's still very low barriers to entry. A lot of people can get into the business very cheaply. Multiple distribution channels are the key to success for the top players and for the ones that are making millions of dollars. So what are some of these distribution channels for self-improvement products and services? Speaking engagements, public, where you have you're advertising a seminar in a certain city and you move around the country and give these seminars. Those are public seminars. Private speaking engagements would be if you're hired by a company to do a presentation at IBM or Johnson & Johnson, for example, or ABC Company, and you're paid for that. Usually much smaller groups than the public speaking engagements. Another way to distribute your content as a self-improvement guru is through books and audiobooks and DVDs, multimedia packages of those three things. Personal coaching. A lot of the top motivational speakers and gurus like Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar, who passed away, and Les Brown and many others in the business area have their own personal coaching departments or staffs, people that they've trained in their concepts and their philosophy. And so they have these staffs of people that are able to offer personal coaching services primarily over the phone to the general public. Then you have workshops and retreats. You can go to a Tony Robbins retreat on the island of Fiji for $5,000 or $10,000. A lot of the big celebrities in this field have these high-priced workshops and retreats. They range from 3 days to 5 days to 7 days usually, sometimes several weeks. They also sell their content direct to the consumer through their websites. Every motivational speaker and celebrity has their own website with an e-commerce store where you can buy their books and DVDs and various other services. They have webinars and podcasts that they offer over the internet. They cross-sell and cross-promote their services with other self-improvement gurus. And lately, the big thing has been these in-depth online courses or master academies or universities that are usually priced for $500, $1,000, $2,000 and up. They're fairly expensive. So those are some of the main distribution channels for distributing your content or a celebrity's content to the general public. Some recent market developments. The last recession, the Great Recession, did have a major impact. Consumer discretionary income was weak, spending was weak. So that's one of the major things that affected the growth rate of the industry over the last 3 to 4 years. The market has also suffered some bad publicity and scams and frauds and some bankruptcies. We had the James Ray Sweat Lodge deaths where people died in Arizona after becoming dehydrated in these sweat lodges or tents where people were asked to spend long periods of time in a very hot environment, and this was supposed to purge their body of toxins and get them into a different mental state where they'd be receptive to more creativity and so forth. Didn't work out that well. People got sick, people died, and James Ray was indicted for that. You also had Robert Kiyosaki, the author of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He declared bankruptcy on one of his companies. Susie Orman was coming under some criticism for some of her financial advice. So you did have a little bit of bad publicity and some scandals and things that affected the industry in a negative light the past couple of years. Also, Peter Lowe, the Get Motivated seminars where they have 6 or 8 people and 10,000 people attending to see 6 or 8 motivational speakers in a one-day seminar in a large venue like a stadium, those large venue events. He went bankrupt, and there was a scandal over what they were doing with the people's emails, and the event was being used as a way to generate sales leads for an investment company to upsell them expensive investment programs. And so Peter Lowe's motivated seminars went out of business. That was another scandal. Okay, you didn't have any major books, blockbuster hits like The Secret back in, I guess, 2007, 2008. So you didn't have the next big thing. You know, everybody's been waiting for the next big thing in self-improvement since The Secret, the book and the movie came out. We didn't see it since the last 2 or 3 years. Nothing big has come along. And the next major market development was the shift to digital and internet delivery of products and information. As I mentioned, more webcasts, webinars, and online universities. Also, these motivational speakers and gurus are getting older and they're retiring or dying. Stephen Covey, the famous author of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he passed away, unfortunately. Zig Ziglar was one of the big people in the area of sales, and he passed away. Jim Rohn passed away. So a lot of these gurus are getting into their 60s and 70s and 80s and are retiring or dying. So we're waiting for the next generation of new, younger gurus to come in and carry the torch. And so far, a few have appeared, but not many. There's still a lot of the old people are still around. Another development is the amount of customer confusion. There's a lot more content being uploaded to the internet because everybody has access to YouTube and making their own videos, and technology of cameras and making videos and webinars and sophisticated podcasts and webcasts has come down so much. The price has come down so much, and it's gotten so easy to do that everybody is self-publishing and putting content on the internet. So you have a lot of quantity, but not necessarily a lot of quality. And in terms of what people are looking for in self-improvement, I think the customers today, what I'm hearing from other people in the industry, is that they're looking for more practical skills rather than spiritual and general motivational content. They're more focused on financial and business topics, how to start a business, more practical things they can use to improve their skills and further their careers. Market problems, lack of credibility. There's a lot of self-improvement content and courses and books out there, but after 20 years, where's the proof that it works? Is anybody really seeing significant improvement in their financial life, their spiritual life, their marriage and relationships? We still have a divorce rate of 50%. There needs to be more research, more studies to show the proof, if there is any data, that people are getting more out of these self-improvement books and courses, and it's translating into real, solid, measurable improvements in their lives. Another problem is, well, not so much a problem, but a characteristic of the market is that the baby boomers who drove the self-improvement market, they still need a lot of hand-holding, and they still are looking for gurus, even if as they get into the 50s and 60s. So the baby boomers still drive this market to a large portion. Getting back to a lack of credibility, we did have the scandals that I mentioned. Peter Lowe went out of business. James Ray, the Sweat Lodge debts. Robert Kiyosaki declared bankruptcy from one of his companies. Susie Orman's, some of her financial principles were criticized. There's few gurus out there for the younger, under 30 generation, and that's one of the untapped areas of the market that where we see growth over the next few years. So who's going to step up and provide these programs and the motivation for the under 30 generation, the millennials, the Generation X, the Generation Y people? So far, not many have appeared in the market. And when Oprah Winfrey left her show and the major network, it really left a void in the market. Oprah Winfrey was a real channel for a lot of motivational speakers like Deepak Chopra and Susie Orman and Dr. Phil to talk about their fields and their respective areas and expertise. Now that she's on her own channel on cable TV, OWN, the OWN channel, her audience is a lot smaller, and she just doesn't have the same reach that she did when she was being watched by millions of people on network TV. So we thought that when she left, that the OWN channel would be the new self-improvement 24-hour channel, and it would morph into that, but it hasn't happened. Okay, let's look at some of the individual market segments. The motivational speakers market. What's happening there? The live events attendance is down a lot, mainly due to the recession. People don't want to spend to fly to a destination to see a live event with motivational speakers and then pay for hotel and meals, etc. It gets into thousands of dollars, and people just don't have the money, the budgets, the marketing budgets to spend on that anymore. So they're going to alternative, lower cost venues. In the motivational speakers market, we do have a changing of the guard coming. The older gurus are retiring or dying. The fees for the top speakers usually are $20,000 to $50,000 per speech. That's been stable. It really hasn't changed much over the last 5 years. And the speakers find that they have to give away more free content online as a teaser to upsell them to other products and services. So they are giving more away for free. The high-priced retreats and seminars are not doing as well, again, because of the price. There's more online home study courses being offered over the internet. We have about 5,000, a little over 5,000 professional motivational speakers in the US, but only a handful of them, maybe 10 to 15, are making big money, over $1 million a year. Having a best-selling book is usually the ticket to enter the field as a motivational speaker and be successful. The personal coaching market. This is estimated to be a $739 million market in the US and $1.5 billion worldwide, according to the International Coaching Federation, which commissioned a study by PricewaterhouseCoopers a few years ago. The average personal coach makes between $46,000 and $65,000 per year. Pretty good. There's estimated to be a little under 14,000 professional personal coaches active in the US at the current time. It's still a popular profession. It's still growing, but it was hit fairly hard by the recession. A typical personal coach charges maybe $200 to $500 per month for their coaching services over the phone. And as I said, when you're worried about paying the rent or the mortgage or paying your utility bills or putting food on the table, that's an expenditure that can easily be postponed. The business for doing coaching for corporations and government held up better than personal coaching. And I should say that personal coaching, it's very easy business to get into. You don't need any special certificate or degree or certification. It's optional. You can choose to get certified by the ICF, the International Coaching Federation, or several other organizations, but you don't have to. And literally anybody can call themselves a personal coach and print up some business cards and put up a website and say that they're an experienced personal coach, but it's really buyer beware in this market. You should do your research and make sure people are competent and qualified to guide you and organize your life. A lot of these people have problems organizing their own lives, let alone yours, and charging you for it. So buyer beware in this field. There's a bit of price resistance right now in the aftermath of the recession, and the number of clients per coach has fallen. The services are delivered over the phone and by email primarily, not in person. And consumers are now opting for less costly solutions like books, CDs, free webinars, podcasts, MP3 downloads, rather than paying $200 to $500 a month for personal coaches. The public seminars market. This is estimated to be roughly a $300 million market in the US. It consists mostly of one-day events, what we call traveling road shows, where companies like Fred Pryor Career Track and Skill Path and other companies, which are small, privately owned, travel to different places, different cities all around the country, and typically they'll saturate that market 2 or 3 weeks before the event with direct mail and radio and internet ads to beef up the interest in the market and try to beef up the attendance. And these are usually small events where you have maybe 30 to 50 people in a room in a hotel talking about whatever topic, flipping houses, investing in real estate, investing in the stock market, how to set up a website, search engine optimization, sales skills, organization skills, whatever. It's a tough business to make profitable. It has a high overhead. You have to pay to rent a hotel space. You have to spend a lot of money on advertising. And you have to spend to put a person, a speaker, on the road and have them travel. Then the other type of event I mentioned before is the large scale stadium type event by people like Peter Lowe in the past, and his wife Tamara Lowe, who I think is still running some of those seminars. They got divorced and they split off and kind of went their own way. And these are the large events where you try to get 5,000 or 10,000 people, and you have 5 major speakers, celebrities, people like Colin Powell, or people that are politicians, former military, business gurus, and a couple of motivational speakers. And each of those probably get paid $10,000 to $20,000 because it's a venue to reach a lot of people and sell their workshops or personal coaching or whatever books or packages they want to sell. So that's the difference. You have the small public seminars in a hotel versus the stadium type events in a large venue. The major competitors or companies in this public seminars market are Fred Pryor Career Track, Landmark Education, Skill Path, National Seminars Group, and Peak Potentials. Most of these companies do between 30 and 70 million a year in revenues. And recently, um, three of these companies, I believe, were acquired by universities. And the way that we know how much they're doing in revenues per year is we have access to the IRS tax forms of the nonprofit organizations which own them and operate them. They must file this IRS tax form. So in there, they break down the revenues of the university and something like Skill Path or National Seminars Group within that IRS form. So for the first time in our last study, we were able to get a hold of this IRS data and find out how big these companies are. Hay House is becoming more active in the market. They are filling some of the void left by Peter Lowe when his Get Motivated seminars went out of business. And so they're holding seminars and workshops in the mid-range of maybe $150 to $200 per person for these seminars. The price of these seminars by people like National Seminars Group and Skill Path are usually lower priced, maybe $59, $79, $99. Hay House, $150 to $200. And these people up here, I mentioned, many have been acquired by nonprofit universities. Okay, how about the infomercials market? We've all seen infomercials, especially on late night TV and weekends. And this is basically a $2.8 billion market where 45% of it, or about 1.3 billion, is accounted for by self-improvement shows. Self-improvement sales or retail sales via the infomercial channel were down a major 40% from 2007 to 2011. So this distribution channel took a big hit due to the recession. Health and fitness equipment sells the best, and then weight loss programs, followed by business opportunities, financial, and then personal development. Sales should improve with the general economy, and the general motivational category is the weakest right now. Consumers want more concrete and specific programs or products. Another market segment is what we call holistic institutes. Really two areas. Holistic institutes is one area, and training organizations like Dale Carnegie is another. There's only 16 of these holistic institutes in the country, and we estimate about 150,000 people attended them and their workshops in 2011, up 10% from 2009. It's a stable, mature market. There haven't been any new institutes opened in the last 10 to 15 years that we can see. It's a good venue for gurus and people like Deepak Chopra and Marianne Williamson and many others to hold their workshops and seminars, and they do appear frequently at these institutes. Now, on the other side of the coin, you have these training organizations where Dale Carnegie is the largest one with revenues of about 136 million, and they're primarily focused on the corporate market, doing corporate training. As far as public speaking, improving your public speaking skills, Toastmasters is the head and the leader in that field. You have a public company called Gaiam, based in Colorado. That's a retailer of sustainable living products, and also they kind of straddle the sustainable living and market with the self-improvement market. They're kind of a mixture of both. And they're doing fairly well. They're a $275 million company, a public company. So you can look them up and get more information about them. Hay House is 45 to $75 million company. They're growing. And as I said, they are filling some of the void left by the Peter Lowe seminars going out of business. The books market. There haven't been any big blockbusters like The Secret, and we estimate that this is a $549 million a year market. Self-improvement books are sold retail, online, and through New Age bookstores. The average New Age bookstore is small. They only do about $125,000 per year. And diet books, which are popular every year, comprise a big chunk of self-improvement book sales. We're projecting annual growth of a little under 5% per year for the self-improvement books market to 2016. Then you have a related market, audiobooks, the audio version of a regular book. And the audiobooks, total audiobooks market is worth almost $3 billion in 2011. Self-improvement audiobooks account for about 15% of that, or $472 million. 24 million Americans listen to audiobooks on a regular basis. And audiobook customers have a higher than average income and education. The market is strong. It grew 10% in 2010 and 13% in 2011. Audiobooks are becoming more popular because consumers spend more time commuting and they like portability. Things like the books that you have, the e-readers that you have by Amazon and Kindle have also spurred this market and made it more popular. So this is a fairly good growth market. The weight loss market, of course, we can't talk about self-improvement without talking about weight loss programs. Commercial programs worth about $3.3 billion. Medical programs, another $2.4 billion. 108 million Americans diet each year, and each of them makes 4 to 5 weight loss attempts. 83% of the dieters out there now are do-it-yourselfers, mainly because of the economy and not having enough money to spend thousands of dollars on a structured program. A lot of people are doing it themselves with diet books and websites and free weight loss and fitness apps, and buying meal replacement products from the local supermarket and mass market store. So a lot of do-it-yourselfers right now. Of course, you still have a lot of diet fads through the mail order, internet, and supplements that are being sold. The diet company revenues were down or flat last year in 2013, with the main reason for this low growth being the weak economy. However, we did have some strong performance with multi-level marketing distributors, people like Herbalife. The free and low-cost apps and free or low-cost subscription weight loss websites have gained ground and are popular. And so weight loss is still a large part of the self-improvement market. Here you can see the percentage of American adults on a diet jumped substantially between 2004 and 2010 to 54%. And here's the historical percentages going all the way back to 1986. Some of the reasons why diets fail: not enough exercise, metabolism slowing down as the baby boomers get older, as the population in general gets older, not enough self-discipline, These are what consumers themselves are saying about why diets fail. Snacking too much, overeating, portion sizes, they're eating for stress and emotional reasons. They're not watching what they eat out at restaurants, and they're concentrating too much on fat and not enough on calories. This is from the Calorie Control Council's last survey, which was done in 2010. So, in closing, where is the future growth in the self-improvement market going to come from over the next 5 years? It's going to come from programs catering to the under 30 generation, Generation X, Generation Y, millennials. As people get into their 20s and they graduate college, they start their careers, they start making money, they have extra income to spend on self-improvement programs. This is where some of the growth is going to come from. It's also going to come from the Hispanic population, which is the fastest growing minority segment of our population, and as their income grows, it's going to come from international markets. It's going to come from lower cost internet-based programs like webinars and webcasts and downloads. It's going to come from practical financial and real estate programs. The real estate market has begun to rebound, and so you'll start to see more self-improvement programs related to real estate coming back on the market. Courses in starting a business or becoming an entrepreneur, getting into entrepreneurship, we think that's going to be more popular and contribute to the growth. Audiobooks, we see that continuing to grow. Self-improvement programs and services for men, and lower cost weight loss programs. So that kind of wraps it up. Again, just scratching the surface, but I think it gives you a good overview of the size of the self-improvement market, the segments comprising it, and what are some of the better growing segments within the market and where that future growth is going to come from. As always, after looking at the seminar, if you'd like to get in-depth information and in-depth competitor profiles, we do have a report called The Market for Self-Improvement Products and Services, which we publish every 2 years. The last one was in the fall of 2012. We will be updating it in the fall of this year. And so you can purchase that report as a whole study or single chapters. And we have other teleseminars related to segments of this market, like personal coaching. And as always, you can email me, John LaRosa, or contact me by phone. Here's the contact information. Here's our website, marketdaenterprises.com, where we describe all of our studies. So please don't hesitate to contact us. And we hope that you've gotten a good idea of what the self-improvement market is all about, and will continue to follow us. And we look forward to our next teleseminar with you. Take care, good luck, and good business.